Hey, awesome ones. So my daughter just texted me and she said, hey, are we making Christmas cookies again this year? And I'm really not a baker, but I want to tell you all about it. It all starts in just a few seconds. So last year I went all out and I trekked to the store. I bought all kinds of Christmas decorations for cookies. I wanted to make shortbread. I wanted to make chocolate chip. I wanted to make some of the old-fashioned kind of shortbread cookies that my mom and my grandmother used to make a long time ago, and they taught me how to make them. And my daughters and I, we had a blast. I mean, they turned out really awful. Some of them, there were bloopers. We just had so much fun together. And that video was kind of lost over at the other YouTube station, you know, the beauty and fashion one. And I thought, no, I'm going to bring it back. I have to look at it again because I got to make Christmas cookies this year, and I really want to share it with you. And so let's take a look at that video. So I have two daughters and they're in their late 20s, and I texted them. As a parent, we know you're not supposed to call them, you've just got to text them. Anyway, I texted them that I'm going to be making Christmas cookies this year and they'd like to join me. I'll buy all the stuff and they can give them away as gifts. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever had so many texts back and forth from my two daughters. They're crazy about this idea. They think it's wonderful. They're all in, and we have set the date for later in December. So whether you're a seasoned baker, a newbie, or I guess an ex-baker like me who really doesn't remember what parchment paper is, tag along on these videos. They're really simple recipes. I'm making some of my own icing sugar. It may bring you back to, you know, those early days of your childhood, because I'm trying to do really what I remember that my mom used to make like years and years ago. So I'm determined I'm not going to lose the tradition. I got grandchildren, they're not here yet, but future grandchildren to think about, and I'm just thinking about having them all around the table, and we make little gingerbread cookies, and it's going to be so much fun. So I've got to get started on this tradition. Now, as you remember, I already went when I was buying my holiday decorations, and if you haven't seen the video, the top 10 Christmas and holiday decorations, I'm going to put the link up there for the video that you can see. But I already bought some really cool cookie cutters, some little tins. Yeah, we've got that going on, but we got to get out there to the grocery store and pick up some goods for baking. So cue the Christmas music and away we go. So I got my list and I'm checking it twice, and I'm at the grocery store, and this is going to be fun. I'm heading for the baking section. Okay, so I'm in the baking section right now, and I'm going to bypass all of this icing because I'm going to make my own. But look at these little eyeballs here that I could get. There's also cookies that are in packages that I could just sort of buy as well. So, but let's pick a few fun things here. Now, when I do something, I usually don't do it half-baked. I didn't even have a rolling pin. I know I had one time, but maybe the girls borrowed it. I also got the parchment paper, cooling racks for the cookies. Apparently I need icing basters, so oops, get those. M&Ms, what am I going to do with those? Also, I'm going to make no-bake recipes, so there you go. I've got sprinkles, I've got eyeballs, I have all kinds of things. Nutmeg. Let's get this party started. Now, I'm not a total slouch when it comes to Christmas time. I make a turkey dinner for probably how many people? 10 or 12 people, right, Bill? All their kids, all the kids, Bill's brother, his mother. I do all of that, and I usually do that for Thanksgiving. Christmas Eve and also for Easter. But this cookie baking thing I'm really excited about, and I am going to give this a dry run right now, a test run if you will, because I don't want to be figuring all this out when my daughters are here and the cookies turn out like ah. But Bill, are you into tasting a few samples tonight?
Oh yeah.
Well, let's start taking a look at some recipes. And all I did was I remembered what my mom used to make, and I got on the internet and I did a bunch of recipes. I'm just basically going to run through really quickly what the ingredients are for each, and if they were too fast for you, or you can always find them on the internet, these recipes are easy peasy. So I printed out all my recipes here and some ideas for decorating. I've got those there. I went looking for my mixer, and it was just one of those cheap little hand mixers and couldn't find it. So I asked my eldest daughter, have you seen my mixer? And she says, oh yeah, I broke that about 10 years ago. Guess what? You can make a lot of the ingredients in a blender, and I just love my Vitamix blender. Oh, and by the way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put links to some of the items that I'm showing here or similar in the description below. I'll also put it on the blog for you, and that way you can purchase. I just absolutely love this blender. It's incredible. So prior to even mixing up my first batch, I have put the parchment paper down on the cookie trays. I have washed everything that I bought, including these little trays that are going to be for drying or cooling off, I guess, the cookies. All of the little cookie cutters I have washed. I really think that before you bake anything, if it's new, you gotta wash it up. So maybe it's just me, but I'm just finding that I don't need mixtures for these. I got my spoon, I got my arm, and I think it's gonna work out fine. Now we're going to do a sugar cookie recipe, which a lot of people just love. I have put 1 cup of softened butter in there, so I have that in there. Now I need 1 cup of sugar, so we're just going to get the sugar out here. Do a cup of sugar. Yeah. Good. I'm not an exact mixer. And now they say just stir that up. So, and it said do not overmix, so I wouldn't have been able to use the blender anyway. And I've just kind of put all that sugar and butter together. So now it says 1 egg. 1 egg, you got it. And it also says 1 tablespoon, and this is what I use for a tablespoon. For all you newbies out there, it'll still taste fantastic, so you don't have to go out and buy all kinds of stuff. This is real vanilla extract that I'm using on that. And 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and this is my baking powder. Baking powder, 2 teaspoons of that. Of course, I wore a black shirt today. Yeah, that's good enough. And, 3 cups of flour. Well, I want to get that egg kind of mushed in there a little bit. So let's get that egg kind of mushed in before we start putting in all the flour. And now let's go ahead with the flour. All right. I don't think I'm going to get my own baking show. Or maybe I will, because I'm like maybe 70% of all of the people out there who don't want to bake, and if you can wing it, you'll do more of it. So 2, did it say 3? Wow, that's a lot of flour. So let's go ahead with 3, and I'll mix that up. Rolling, rolling, rolling out the cookie dough. All right, so I'm just gonna cut out the shapes here, and I am going to put them on the little cookie trays, and I guess I'll just use a spatula to do that. And Are you there? Away I go. I'll get these all done now. So they're ready to put in the oven for only 6 to 8 minutes at 350, and that made 26 cookies, that cookie dough. All right, so they're out of the oven and now they're just going to cool. So I bought this icing sugar, and as you can see, it is for sugar cookies. You have to have an icing sugar that will actually harden up. So we're just going to put a little bit of that on these. And as you can see, it's not your regular icing sugar. I'll just put that over there. It's more like a little bit of a glaze. So we're going to put that on. We're not going to put it on all of them, but we're going to put that on most of them. So I put a little bit of that icing sugar in here, and I'm going to put a little squirt of green dye. I did the same thing with the red. And there we go. I'm going to give this a little stir. And I got green icing sugar, or glaze, I guess that's what you call it here. And then I'm going to do this one for the red, because I got some hearts here happening, so we'll want to have some red hearts. And take a look at that. I'm just going to finish those up. So these ones are glazed, but we're not done yet. So what's with these little, I don't know if I can do this. We'll see. They're just little marshmallows. So I've made a little bit more of this icing sugar. And again, if you didn't really get to see that, I have another one here. It's Cape Mate. So this is what I'm using. And what I'm going to do right now is a real cool trick. I'm going to use a mug. Hey, check out the mug I'm using, by the way. And and the t-shirt that I'm wearing that I'm getting completely filthy today. But anyway, we now have our awesome over 50 mugs and t-shirts, and they're in white and black. We also have hoodies and pullovers and all kinds of things. And they're at Teespring. Bill will put it up there. Teespring.com/awesomeover50 with dashes in it. Okay, Bill, put it up. But I'm using this for a reason, and what am I using it for? What I'm going to do is I'm taking some Ziploc bags and I'm going to use them for the piping, because if we spend a lot of money on all of this different stuff, I mean, it really does get super, super expensive. And you can just put this in here. I don't know if Bill can get a close-up of that, but he can just put that in there. Stir that up. So now I have some green icing. And Bill, you want to hand me that other mug, please? Okay, thanks, Bill. All right, so we're just going to put the red one in here. And there we go. Now all I need to do is push this down to the end, right to the corner there. And I got a piper, I just have to cut the end of it off. So there you go. Let's do some sprinkles. All right. I think that let them dry too much. Okay, all right. So no, never fear, never fear. We're going to just put a little bit more on. Now I just realized that if you want to put sprinkles, they have to still be wet, so, or they don't adhere. So there's some sprinkles. Yes, they're going all over the place. I guess I have to make a plan B. I'm learning lots of stuff before I take the girls through this, let's stretch that out a bit, through this process. Let's do our piping now around this one. Okay. Kind of thick there. I'll be able to clean that one up. And what about these little guys? Oh, let's go around this bell. Okay. Are they fancy? No, but they're homemade, and I'm happy with them so far. Okay, so Bill's just cracking me up.
tutorial on making baking cookies.
He also said this is what happens after 40 years.
This is what happens when you wait 40 years to bake your next batch of cookies. Please, don't try this at home.
I'm just gonna keep going. Oh my God, Bill, you make me laugh so much.
I think we'll let the dog. I think we'll let the dog try the first one.
I gotta stop laughing. Oh God.
Oh no, Mr. Bill! Please get me away from her! Hurry!
So there they are. They're a little sad, but I think you get the drift of these little melted snowmen. And yeah, let's work on the gingerbread men now. So let's start with gingerbread men. And no, I'm not doing a gingerbread house, just the gingerbread men. And I was looking at the recipe. I don't even think I need my blender for this one. So I got a big bowl and I've already put in a half a cup of butter softened, 3/4 of a cup of packed dark sugar. And then it said 1/3 of a cup of molasses. I don't have molasses, but that's what the internet is for. I have real syrup, so real maple syrup. So that's going in there, and apparently that's a good substitution. So it's always great to kind of look at that stuff. And all I do is just it's more like a creaming this up, bringing it all together. Okay, that looks good. Now I need an egg. I need 2 tablespoons of butter. I need 2/3 cups of all-purpose flour. So I'm just going to do exactly since it says 2 to 2/3, I can do this little thing. Yay. Just kind of shake that in there. And this one, just make sure I get at least the 2 cups in there. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, and now I also need a half, look at my measuring things, half a teaspoon of salt. And it goes a half a teaspoon of ground ginger. Extremely expensive, this ground ginger. I was surprised. Okay, so half a teaspoon of that. I'm surprised that's all you have in the gingerbread men, but anyway. Oh wait, no. 2 teaspoons. Oh, Heather, gotta look at the recipe here. Can't get my spoon in here, so I'm gonna just sort of winging it. Yeah, a little bit. They're gingerbread men. Let's put a little bit more in there. All right, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. That's where we went wrong. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. All right, half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Let's open up this nutmeg here. And that is it. So now all I have to do is stir up all of this, and Bill's going to put it in fast motion again while I just do the stirring here. Oops. Told you I'm not that good at this. I forgot 1 teaspoon of baking. Oh, this would have been not good. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Always remember to reread your ingredients. And away I go again. So I got a nice doughy mixture here. They say to put it into 2 balls, put it in a bowl, put it in the fridge for 30 minutes. That's what I'm gonna do. The dough is ready from the fridge, and you need a lot of powder on this, I'm finding, to do the rolling out of the cookie dough. And they're even saying, oh, by the way, oven again, 350. And I got these cute little gingerbread men cutters, and they have been floured. They say to flour the bottoms of them, so I floured the bottoms of them. Oh, let's see if we can get a guy here. Flour the bottom. And how about one there? And I'm still going to have some room for some more. All right, so I realize that some of these gingerbread men are actually angels. Yeah, that's an angel, Heather, but anyway, we're gonna call it a gingerbread man. And word to the wise, make sure you have lots of flour on the table that you're rolling them out on and lots of flour on the rolling pin, because if not, they go all mushed up and ugh. Anyway, now I have no idea if this is going to work, but I just thought that these little M&Ms would make cute little buttons. So I'm going to put them in there. Maybe they'll work. Maybe they'll just melt all over the place. I don't know. But the girls aren't here right now, so this is just a test. And Bill, you don't mind if I've got melted buttons, right, to eat the gingerbread man? No.
Okay.
He's A-okay with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And I bought little eyeballs. So I'm going to finish up putting the little eyeballs on. And then they go in the oven, 350 for 8 to 10 minutes. So I just remembered, this is going to be Rudolph. So we're going to do that. And these two little guys, I'm just going to do a couple for you. So for Rudolph, hopefully I got a little bit left for his nose here and this piping here. Huh? Except I'm getting dye all over me. Hold on. I just think you gotta use gloves or something with this stuff. Okay, and now what we'll do is a little bit of piping around them. So what do you think of my little Rudolph? And my gingerbread men are okay. Now let's just eat some of these, right, Bill?
It's a work of art. I think we should wait a little while.
Does that mean you don't want to eat them?
Oh, no, I do, but...
All right, I'm going to make him eat some. So I'm going to do the Rice Krispie squares, and I'm going to put it in a pan like this. This is the no-bake one, and the dog just ran away with the recipe. Hold on. Hurricane, what did you do? You ran off with my recipe when it fell down. Well, I guess it's time to bring a little hurricane in the middle of the video today. And again, the cuteness factor is here. I had to chase him and give him a treat before he would let go of my recipe. But did you get a treat? All right. Anyway, to all of you that are watching and all of the subscribers, thanks so much. If you want to be a subscriber, just click on down below where it says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell. And in the meantime, I'm going to put you down and we're going to continue with our cookie making. So do any of you remember? Oh, Mr. Bill, Mr. Bill. Well, look what Mr. Bill just did. He just took a bite out of this poor little snowman, and so how was it? Was it tasty?
Yeah, you know, after all that, it was pretty good.
All right. So here we go. Here's just some of the ones. I've got a bunch more to do behind me here. The point that I was trying to make with all of this is that, you know, tis the season, and whether they turn out pretty sad looking, it's the love and the joy and you know, the camaraderie with your daughters or your children or even your grandchildren. And of course the kids are going to end up making ones that look like this poor sad thing that didn't turn out at all, but that's the point. It's just about having fun and enjoying. And so until next time, people, have some fun, enjoy life, enjoy the sweeter things in life, and keep it awesome. That is good.